you're going to use these headphones today, these JBLs or some kind of like sport run deal.
Yeah.
I put it in and wish you could hear what was playing. They just stopped. I heard Bubba's voice as soon as I put this thing in. I swear.
It probably was Bubba. He's probably in the case. There's like a miniature Bubba version.
Drive, Passion, and Performance commercial, but it wasn't. How did that just happen? That's so strange. It's like embedded into these headphones.
That is too good. Like a mini.
Crazy.
Just imagine having a little mini Bubba anywhere you went. It was just like anytime you opened it up, like you got new hearing aids. Like my mom wears these $10,000 hearing aids.
Yeah.
The very first thing, you get it in, you put it in your ears, you turn it on, and all you hear is the voice of Bubba. Like every day, like just somewhere out of nowhere, though. It just comes out. You don't know when it's going to be, and then it's just Pride, Passion, and Performance. It just comes out of nowhere, just drops commercials.
That's crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was kind of wild, though.
You must have been listening to
crazy. The first voice I hear is Bubba's.
Obviously, you were listening to some podcasts on our Bubba Army Podcast Network. So that's
obviously
good.
At some point. Yes, absolutely. I was. My phone just paired up with it and said, let's rock and roll. We got to get some Bubba in.
Well, dude, you are definitely coming to us from a new location as usual. You guys listening to this can't see it, but it's always fun whenever we record. Never know where is Blasi this week? Where is Blasi this week? So where is Blasi this week? Where are you coming to us from?
You'll get a lot more of this. A lot more of this to come. Like, this is going to become more the standard operating procedure versus like the rarity here. So I'm back in lovely Dallas, Texas, specifically in Grapevine, Texas.
The Big D.
The Big D, baby. The Big D out here for a few days for work. So yeah, man, posted up here. I realized the internet on my phone was better than the Wi-Fi at the hotel. So I'm actually doing all this from the internet on my phone through my computer, using a hotspot and all that.
5G is amazing, though, and if you're in Dallas, I guarantee you're on it, and it is better. I mean, it
is better.
Good to know that another stress test that we love to. Yep. We love to do stress tests. Hey, Coach,
yes,
you want to come on our show and visit with us? I can only do it while I'm driving. Where are you coming from? I'm going to be driving through the heart of Alabama on the way to New Orleans. No problem. We can make this work. Thanks, Riverside. Shout out to Riverside. They do work. It does work, especially on the back end. Not live, but on the back end, it definitely helps. And we're talking about Coach John.
Amazing. They're like the Netflix of what Netflix is to streaming with movies and stuff. They are to this action, so definitely big props to those guys.
Huge props to Riverside, man. They really do help us a ton. We're able to make a lot higher quality than whenever we use StreamYard. But, Blasi, while we're talking about this, can't lie to you, StreamYard's come a long ways. They've gotten a lot better. I think it's because you have a MacBook now, and I've upgraded my phone, and maybe it's because I also updated that app.
Yeah.
All of these things coming together, I'm able to do a lot of the same stuff that we do from Riverside, but Riverside just still, it's just higher quality. So anyhow, shout out to them. Y'all could care less about how the sausage is made, but that's how it's made. Speaking of some things being made, Blasi, I know that since we've last talked, we had a chance to talk about it a little bit. I don't believe we talked about it on the show. Of course, we talked about it on Tigs Tonight, which you can catch every night, sometime after 7, probably 7:30 all this week. That's kind of going to probably be the standard time. But we did talk a little bit about the files opening up, Trump opening up the files for JFK, MLK, and RFK.
Yeah.
That's wild. Nothing's come from it in a few days from it beyond it happening. But I think.
Yeah, dude. I mean, like, it's really going to be, that's crazy. I mean, I can't believe it. I mean, look, especially all of it, all that's going to be unreal. I was listening to the, RFK Jr. talking about what he was told of how things went down, with RFK, and like, that's crazy stuff, man. I mean, it's pretty wild. Like, all the bullets were accounted for in other people. And then suddenly he had 5 or 6 shots himself, additional bullets. at point blank range to the back of the ear, back of the head. Like, that's crazy, man. Like, I don't know. We're going to see.
Well, I think it's good that he's a part of this because as a, as his son, he deserves to get the answers.
Yeah, he does.
And for his uncle and for his family, but apparently
Yep.
a little bit of pushback from some of the Kennedys, but they're all, some of them I think are just against, they don't like his politics and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's not really traditional Kennedy
Yeah.
politics, but I think it's simply because he has a distrust of the government, and I think he has a good reason to. I think he's had one his whole life because he's
As he
known.
should.
Yeah.
As he should. I mean, if the government killed your dad, I think you'd be a little bit ticked off too. You know what I mean? Like, so yeah. I mean, they're the
Yeah,
ones
and
asleep
your
at the
uncle.
wheel if they're pretending like nothing happened and still trusting the government. That's crazy. I don't care if you're left, right, middle, whatever you are. Like, that should just be innate in you, in my opinion. But
It's going to be, I think the most interesting thing will be like how much is revealed. Like,
yeah,
I mean, it's all supposed to be exposed, but how much is like blacked out names, all that, because you could, the memes out there before you could you'd see a document and you might be able to read like to the of or how and everything else was blacked out and it was a whole page of stuff, just everything blacked out. Well,
yeah,
that doesn't do any good. So hopefully all of that is removed and then we'll see. I mean, it could completely derail everything in the United States as well. Like it could start to unravel so many different, the FBI, the CIA, all of those things could go away, which it looks like they're trying to kind of maybe make happen anyhow.
yeah.
Maybe part of the Doge, the Department of Government
Yeah, I think
Efficiency.
it falls right under those guys, like definitely. Man, it's been a lot of changes. I tell you what, I can't even keep up with them all. Like
Rapid fire, man. Like,
rapid fire, not messing around. But you know what? I mean, like, to either administration, when you get in there and this is stuff, whatever you promise, whatever you're going to do, get in there and start getting it done, man. You know what
yeah,
I mean? Like, there's no reason to hem haul about this stuff.
exactly right. And I mean, it doesn't matter what side you're on. I was talking to this with my daughter, who's definitely not a fan of Trump whatsoever. I'm not ever going to even try to make her a fan of Trump. That's not ever going to work. But I said one thing she did like the JFK files, that being done. It's like, wow. And I said, you can't deny that he is very visible. And we haven't had a president that's been visible for 4 years since Trump. I mean, at least he's out there going to places.
Yeah.
And I don't know how the dude does it because it's 1 a.m. and he's giving interviews on the tarmac and he's been literally all over the United States that day and he's still rolling.
It's crazy.
It's unbelievable. So I just hope that it continues and that America just keeps getting better and all of that. I don't care about the politics of it, but it's nice. There truly has been a change. Like, I feel like we're in a different state right now as far as America. Now, could it all implode with a sentence or a tweet? 100%.
Yeah.
Just all collapse, but I don't think it will.
I don't think so either. I mean, I hope not. We just don't need all that. Like, just let's get in. Let's get some stuff done. Let's get this country in a better position. Financially, security wise. From a safety standpoint. I just don't know. I just think at the end of the day, let's close some of these borders up. Let's control some of this action. Let's get this economy rolling, and let's start taking care of ourselves. Like, and then we can take care of others. Right?
Right.
Yeah, it's the airplane deal. The oxygen mask comes down. You got to breathe first, man, and then you can help other people. I'm all about helping people, and we're great at that. You know what I mean? And that's awesome. But when we're in as bad a shape as we are, we got to take care of ourselves right now. Stop and revitalize, and then we can get back to all that good action.
Exactly. I think they're wanting to send 80 or 90,000 IRS agents to the border, which I didn't know when they created the ERS, the External Revenue Service, then the IRS. I just kind of thought, he's probably just going to split this in half. And now, problem solved. He really did cut the IRS in half. He created a whole new government agency that does this deal. It's not really a wash. But no, now he's kind of threatening them, and he's like, they're going to, and I doubt that he can do this, but I think it's hilarious in a way. Like, you're an IRS agent. I'm going to send you to the border. You don't want to go to the border. You're done. You're out. Like,
wait, what's their job at the border? What's he saying that he
I
wants them
guess
to
to
do down
defend
there?
the country. I don't know.
I hadn't heard this. See, I hadn't even kept up to that level. That's crazy. That's all.
That's about as much as I know, too, and I haven't gone any deeper, nor do I want to, because it's just on the surface, it's good enough.
I mean, you
Like,
never
just
know with this guy, do
craziness.
you? Like, you better watch out, you know?
Yeah, dude. So
Everything's on the table. Nothing's off
all
the
of
table.
that leading into the one thing that has happened today as we're recording this. I'm sure by the end of the week, whenever you guys hear this, that even more fallout will have come from it. But there is a new AI model out there, Blasi, called DeepSeek, and it's like ramped up in the last week. And
Wow.
today in particular was a huge day for those guys and a terrible day for tech companies in America, potentially a terrible day for America. We'll see. And it's going to be interesting to see how Trump handles this. But basically, a new AI model that has come out. They were able to make this model. It's on par with ChatGPT, the latest ChatGPT. It can do all the same stuff. In some ways better. Some folks who have been using it, including like Andrew, I can't remember his last name, on CNBC. I watched a thing with him talking about it. He tested it and was like, it's awesome. It works great. They spent like $5 million. This hedge fund investor from China. Now this is made in China. China. And they spent $5 million to create this model instead of $5 billion like some of these others. They're billions of dollars, whatever they cost, probably more than that. But the problem is, as you know, the United States started to withhold chips, like NVIDIA chips, the higher end GPUs and stuff like that, because we are the leader in making those. From, we started to withhold exporting those, or limiting what they could get, so we could stay ahead in the AI race in the world, because we have been the leaders in it. And all of that money that has been spent is here's this company, a startup. This is their side project, by the way. Like, they do some other stuff. They created all of this because they had a bunch of GPUs to mine Bitcoin, and so then they used all of this stuff. They started using AI and writing this program to help make those more efficient, and ended up with this program, from my understanding. That's my understanding. And then here we go. Here they've got this. They started to develop this thing and teaching it and doing all of that stuff as a side project. They're a bunch of mathematicians who basically create algorithms and sell them. That's their deal. They make algorithms. Wild. So that $5 million instead of $5 billion has shook.
How are they so efficient? I don't understand how they're so efficient compared to that.
Well, I think that's what's being uncovered as we're talking about. But they're able.
They had to steal a bunch of technology from somebody.
I think they're just, because of their limitations. I think they were able to get the most out of what they're working with. From what's kind of the essence of what folks have said, because they didn't have all of the top chips and weren't able to have all those top GPUs and all that stuff. They had to work with what they had, which isn't terrible stuff, but just not. Those advancements are so much bigger every year. So it kind of kept them behind. The U.S. is hoping that that's what would continue to happen.
Yeah, sure.
Of course. But just today on Monday, now by the time y'all listen to this, it's a stock market. It may have come all the way back. I doubt it does. Between U.S. and European technology stocks, over $1 trillion were lost today. $1 trillion.
Dude, I get
The
on a
value
plane and start
value of the
flying and then run it, and I heard about nothing, right? So
yeah
I'm out of the
yeah
loop
yeah.
until I
You've
sit
been
down
in
and
the
talk with
air. You
you.
don't know any. Yes, this is all brand new stuff to you, and it's
Yeah,
brand new
this is
stuff.
crazy. Just a day of travel, and this is what I get, huh?
This is what you get. I think it's the biggest story out there because imagine if China
China.
wins this whole AI race and they're able to, they don't need us for our chips and they don't need Silicon Valley anymore. I mean, what happens to not just them and those companies, but the damn country? The last thing that we really have going on for us is technology. You know, it's not like we make as much steel and all that kind of stuff like we used to. We import so much stuff that we used to make here. Kind of screwed if tech goes away because that's our baby. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
no doubt, no doubt.
I mean, and
Yep.
it's not going to go away overnight, but if they can start to make stuff work like like you can run a chat GPT 4, you can run a high-end movie theater on a PlayStation as opposed to your PlayStation 5, and you can do it for one millionth of the price. What do you think's going to happen?
No, I know.
You know, we're all going to, now it's going to drive the cost down of technology rapidly because that's a major difference. And that's what all the prices of these phones that we have and computers and all that's priced in to pay that executive that's in that boardroom or that
Sure.
president or CEO or whatever to give them bonuses. That's where they
Crazy.
all make their money. That shit's about to end.
That's nuts. That's wild.
Yeah. So,
That's nuts. Yeah, I got to dig into this more. Yeah, I'm looking. Just seeing that
yeah,
Nasdaq
and you can
down 20%
download DeepSeek in the App Store on app. You can
Can
download
you?
it on your phone. However, as of today and probably will be for a while, they have you can only register now with a mainland China mobile phone number because too many people started like they overwhelmed the system. I mean, once
Wow.
people started hearing what the hell is this thing that has dropped Nvidia stock 20%, the largest stock in the stock market, 20% a monster day on a stock of that size, you know?
Yeah.
So anyhow, it's going to be all of that to say is I think it's going to be very interesting to see what Donald Trump does with that and what develops over the course of the next few days and weeks with it. Yeah.
That's crazy,
Look
man.
more. I don't know a whole lot about it either. I know about as much as what I know. I know what I just told you, and I'm still going down the rabbit hole. So y'all watch Tigs tonight and go back and watch some Tigs tonight because as the week develops, got a feeling that that's going to be a topic I talk about every night. Some new development with it because it's coming. It's coming
Yes,
at a rapid
changing
pace.
rapidly. Yeah, that's wild. I got to dig into that stuff and check it out. I mean, it's like these TikTok phones. If you got a phone, have you seen where you can sell your phone? I guess for thousands of dollars
Yeah.
if you've got TikTok downloaded on it. Because right
Yes.
now they're in like a temporary state. I guess you can't add it to new devices, but you can.
That's right. It's not in the app store. And some people deleted the app because they were like, well, they're gone, even though they came back a day later or whatever, they're gone. They'll never come back. And now you can't download the app. So
So how
people
are
are
you selling your
freaking out.
phone though? Because you're having to sell your user ID, I guess, and just delete everything else.
I think it's a dumbass move on your part, number one, unless you just want to, like, I guess you'd have to have your iCloud account and you would have to basically, you're just going to give your
Give
iCloud
your
account
iCloud
away.
account away, and then try
Yeah,
to go.
you
Like,
have
that's
to because you
crazy. That's not
can't
worth
reset
that.
the phone, can't re-log in as another person. It has to have all of your information on it. No, thank you. I'm
Yeah,
not.
maybe 30 or 40 grand. I might think about doing that, but
30 grand's my minimum, and you
yeah, I
can
think
have
so
this iPhone
too.
16
That's a lot of
with all
work,
of mine.
man.
I'll just create a whole new account. Yeah,
Yeah,
I can.
yeah. At that point, here you go.
But I have a feeling I would screw up and leave something on there like, where they could just unlimited buy stuff. And I'm going to be like, why do I have this $17,000 bill? I've lost everything. Damn it. I forgot to turn that off. Yeah. Good luck with
That's
that,
crazy.
people.
That's crazy, man.
I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. Man, did you hear about, there was an earthquake today in the Northeast.
I did
Yeah,
not hear about the
I know.
earthquake
This is what's
today.
fun. It's fun to kind of tell you just what's going on today, just in today's
I mean, I get
headlines
off an
because you've
airplane,
been
rush to
flying.
my hotel, rush to the wrong hotel actually first. I didn't even tell you that. I checked in. I show up. I'm in plenty of time because we're going to record, and I go to the wrong Hyatt hotel. And I get there, they're like, "Oh, you're across town. You're on the other side of the airport." I was like, "Oh my gosh!" So I had to wait 30 minutes later. So I'm here. But anyway, the point is, I travel today. I get off. I check in the hotel. I have to go to this mall. I forgot, or I have a belt, but I needed another belt. Went and got a belt. Get back here, and I'm learning like we've got earthquakes going on. Stock market's crashing. Like this is crazy.
Yeah, I love it. I mean, I don't love these things that are happening, but I love that it's kind of like you're getting hit with some
Yeah.
fresh new news. And that's what happens when you fly. It's like you're in a bubble of no information unless you're sitting around in the airport and you have to be on your phone. If you have a day where like you fly into another airport and you've got to make it from that one terminal to another to the next flight, by the time you get on the plane, everybody's using their phone. Everything's so slow you can't pull anything up. You know what I mean? So you're kind of out of the loop unless you see headline news or something that's on one of the TVs.
Yep.
None of these things are like earth shattering because, well, frankly, people didn't die today in any of this. But,
That's true.
still, yeah, an earthquake in the Northeast hit in York Harbor, Maine. It was a 4.1, and they could feel it all the way down to Boston. So,
Wow.
yeah,
Wow.
crazy.
That is
It
crazy.
is crazy. Did you, before you hopped on the plane, did you have a chance to watch the AFC and NFC championships?
So
And
I
what are your
watched.
thoughts?
Well, I watched the AFC championship game. I saw bits and pieces of the NFC championship game. I mean, obviously that just got away from Washington in a hurry. There were some bad calls there too, but I'm not going to sit here and say the bad calls is why they lost the game. I heard somebody trying to argue that. I'm like, I'm not so sure about that.
Nah,
So no,
no,
it was
not
just
that,
what
not that
the
bad.
the it's like the clock struck 12. It was midnight. It just they had a great year. They have a great team. There's a great future in front of those guys. But at the end of the day, they just got outworked by a really, really good football team with the
Yeah,
Eagles.
they did.
So that one. Now I saw that. I was watching all that controversy today, which I saw the game last night. Some of those calls with the Chiefs. Yeah, it's pretty crazy
Dude,
stuff, man. It's
I
pretty
mean,
crazy
I'm
stuff.
getting to the point. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, number one, for the record, we went 0-2 in our picks. So I hope no one followed our advice because it wasn't advice at all. It was just what we thought, what we
Oh, and
wanted to
two.
happen. Didn't you pick? Did you pick Philly?
I didn't take the Bills.
You didn't. Oh, you took the Chiefs. Okay, you went
I
one and
did take the
one.
Chiefs.
I went
Now
0-2.
I did take the Commanders, but I took the Chiefs, so I went 1-1. And I took the Chiefs.
Okay,
I
well
took the
that
Chiefs
makes
in the
me.
over, and I bet them last night. I did a parlay with Chiefs in the over, and then I took because you knew the Chiefs were going to win. They have to win, and
I just
so
really thought this may be the year where the
I know.
NFL's like, haha, we're going to show you the script isn't in. But then, oh no, the fourth quarter came right along. Number one, they got a first down twice. And I'm not a Buffalo guy. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm not a Kansas City hater. I like Mahomes. I
I
like
do
all
too.
of those guys. And I love Andy Reid. But it's
Yep.
just, it gets old seeing the same dang team in there all the time. So I'm not certainly not opposed. I wouldn't have been opposed to the Bills getting in there, and they just keep knocking on the door, like you say, but they just can't. They just can't get through,
God,
man.
isn't that
And it
crazy how they
sucks.
can't get through? And then you look at the Chiefs, Mahomes in his first, what's this, his seventh year. Every single year, he's either made it to the AFC Championship game or the Super Bowl and won it
It's
or lost it
crazy.
one time. Like, that's nuts. That's unheard
Yeah,
of.
totally unheard of. I mean, he's no doubt a Hall of Famer, and the stuff that he can do is just amazing. But man, they do get the calls. They just flat out do get the calls. He gets calls. He he scored a touchdown, then he taunted somebody right immediately, and it was pretty
That was
much a
Travis
taunt.
Kelsey after
It was
after
Travis
Mahomes.
Kelsey.
Yeah,
Mahomes
after
did
Mahomes scored a
something too.
touchdown, he
Yeah,
he jumped up, started taunting, and then he got the penalty called,
yeah,
after the action just right after it. But I
yeah.
don't know, man. It's
It's
kind of like Jordan back in the day. Jordan used to get a lot of calls.
Jordan got a lot of calls. He did. He did. Have you seen the conspiracy on the Super Bowl logo?
I tried to look at that. I got your text on that, and I looked at it. So I haven't read it. I saw the logo for the first time, so I'm seeing the colors.
It's 4 years in a row. The 4 years that everybody has said the script has been in, it's 100% accurate. The colors of the two teams have been in the damn logo.
They are.
Unbelievable. Why else would you have? And I never understood it. I didn't like the logo when they unveiled it last year. It says New Orleans, and it's at Mardi Gras time. Like
Yeah,
that needs to have. And they've had Mardi Gras like logos before. Maybe they wanted to stay away from that. But red and green, you're gonna make it red and green. It should at least be purple, yellow, and green at a minimum. The L whatever this Super
yeah.
Bowl is, not red and green. Weird.
It is weird. And see, I didn't after last year's whole deal. We should have looked at this a long time ago and say, hey, let's look at the logo this year again and start putting it
Well,
all
people
together.
had been.
Yeah,
I've been reading this the whole season that it was going to be. There were people that had said this is going to be the Eagles and the Chiefs. Now, both of them, the two top teams in their
two very good
conferences.
teams. Yeah,
So
that's
it's
right.
yeah, okay,
Yeah,
but still for them to make it, Chiefs pretty much were almost a lock in, unless Burrow had a good season in Cincinnati. He's the only one really who seems to be able to beat him. Josh Allen and them just don't know what else they can do. I feel bad for the Buffalo people, honestly. Like the fans, I know they're great fans. They're crazy. They're college. It's a college-like atmosphere there.
yeah, they're
And,
nuts. Like even in
they
Hampton Bay
deserve
and
it.
Pop, dude, the Bills Mafia takes over that place. It's a madhouse. They did a live stream from props last night when they were winning still in the fourth. And dude, it was insane in there. They're on tables and stuff. Like, yeah, they're crazy.
Yeah, they throw people through tables and stuff. That's a bucket list game for me to go to. I've been to Lambeau. I got to see LSU play Wisconsin in Lambeau. LSU lost, but whatever. Got to go to Lambeau. That's all I really cared about.
That's cool. I never been.
I'd love to go to Buffalo, and they're building a new stadium. I'd rather go to the new one.
Yeah.
Like, it's going to be covered. Part of it will cover the fans. It's still an outdoor stadium, but
Yeah.
like they do in Europe with the soccer stadiums where it has like an overhang to protect the fans, that'll help. Plus, it'll help them to not have to shovel dang snow out.
Yeah,
Whenever,
that's true.
they'll get 2 feet of snow piled in that sucker day before the game. They have to hire the fans to come in there and pay them to dump it all out. They don't have enough people on the crew. It's nuts.
Isn't that crazy?
It
But the
is.
fans love to do that stuff. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, hell yeah. I mean, I'd totally be doing it too.
If I
hammered
lived there,
and
I'd be first in line. You know, like let's go.
yeah, for sure, for sure. Man, I wanted to tell you about this because I saw this afternoon, scrolling along. Our boy JD Marsh, and we will have him on this Bubba show because he's familiar with Bubba.
Yeah,
And we've kind of talked about it, but it's just been for our TV shows. He's
Yeah.
getting back in the game. Number one, I saw, and he was in San Antonio in a cook-off. I don't know how they did, but his Pantano seasonings are coming out, dude. And he had a post with the labels, and I've got names. So he's got Pantano, High on the Hog, Sweet Heat for ribs, butts, and bellies.
Oh, butts and bellies.
I got the names. El Rey, the king of all purpose rub. So that's just the El Rey is going to be like,
I know what it is.
I think it's going to be kind of like the El Jefe.
Yeah,
that we
yeah,
have
it has to be. Yeah, yeah.
Blackjack, which I love that name.
I
Cajun,
guess that's the
that's
blackened
Cajun.
seasoning.
Yep, the Cajun shaken blackening seasoning.
Yeah.
That's going to be unbelievable because we got a chance. That never got put out. So
That's
you
the
guys
clear
who don't
label.
know,
There's
kind
no
of what-
label. That's just a. Like,
that's the no label.
come out
one. Yeah,
loud.
so I guess I need to back up because these guys don't know this story. So we have a friend, JD Marsh, and he was working with Alex Bregman, the baseball player for the Astros or wherever he's going to go this off season, but he was with the Astros, and JD has created these different rubs and spices, and he's been building this for a long time. He does competition barbecue, and he's just put a lot of time, energy, sweat,
Yep.
equity, and all that stuff in it. Well, they decided to partner up, and Breggy wanted to label the seasonings under his label, Breggy Bomb, and so he created, being in Texas and all that, he wanted to get into barbecue, and it's a fun deal to be around and do all of that stuff. And he
Sure.
was already doing salsa too, so they bonded, got together, formed the company, and they were the supplier of all that. Well, with the talks of everything that were happening with him potentially moving on, he partnered up with Mark Wahlberg and is making some kind of making salsa, Wild Soul salsa, which he was already in the salsa game. The salsa is supposed to be better. I hope so, because frankly, the one that he had first, I mean, I've never said it, but it sucked. It was terrible. I bought it, like, it just was not that good. So hopefully that salsa is better. That was not part of JD and them's
No.
deal at
Yeah.
all. But the seasonings were, and they were all amazing, as they've sent us stuff and sent us some of these
Oh yeah.
that have never been out, like the blackjack never got out. And then Brisky Business, he's talked about that. That's finally going to come out with the for brisket rubs. But anyhow,
Drum
so
roll.
JD,
What
do
about the
what?
brush dust?
I don't see. That's the only names that are out right now.
Wow.
But I know I don't think he's got the name for the brush dust yet.
That's so good.
But he
That's such
better
a
dang have
unique,
that
great
brush dust.
seasoning.
Oh,
That
he's
and
not
that
going to
dream
not have
seasoning
it.
now is kind of my new brush dust in the sense of kind of how I'm applying it. That man that we got. I love that stuff, dude. That's
Yeah,
good stuff.
it's
I'm so
freaking
fortunate to have so
fantastic.
many seasonings to choose from. I was doing this chili cook-off this past weekend. I was making all these decisions on seasonings, and just so much to choose
Too
from.
much. You want to use
It's
a little bit of
unbelievable.
all of it, but then you're going to go too heavy. It's
I I
um,
know.
I had it was we've talked about, it was my wife's 50th birthday over the weekend, and
Yeah, happy
all
birthday,
of her
Katie.
family came in, and we had a good time, and I cooked some, and then we went out and ate some and stuff like that. But we were talking, I think it was last night. Yeah, it was last night. I made tacos last night, just regular old ground hamburger meat tacos, white
Nothing wrong
people
with that.
tacos. Okay,
Yeah,
nothing
nothing wrong
wrong
with
with
that.
them. And I was talking to my sister-in-law, and I was like, "Yeah, if we need any seasonings, I got that covered. If there's one thing that we have gotten abundance from this show and doing this,
Yeah.
we have all the season. Like, we'll never run out. If we do, these folks will all restock us, and I'm not complaining about that
No.
whatsoever,
Zero.
because it is used. It is used. I used some today. Actually, cooked some chicken thighs, and I used our girl Gabby's "What You Cooking" seasoning, that all-purpose seasoning, and then I hit it with a little bit of T. Russ's cypress dust over the top. Give it a little, give it that little bit of kick. Magnificent,
Mm.
magnificent. So, look, guys, if y'all like food and spices, y'all tune in to us, especially on our week shows and our things that aren't on Bubba, because we talk about food a whole lot, and we know some of that comes over to this show too sometimes, but not
Yeah.
always. We kind of try to, we don't want to be those guys that are just always talking about smoking briskets and all. But if y'all want us to do a show on that for an hour, I can do that.
We
Blasi
can
can
do
do
that.
that too. We're gonna have to do a show on the Jewish brisket that I make from
Y-
Stacy
Yeah.
G. Stacy
Yes,
G
you
sending
are.
me a recipe. I love to smoke briskets and all that. Not gonna smoke it. I'm gonna do it her way, the way that the recipe says
Yep.
first, and then I got a feeling I'm gonna do
Tweak
it
it.
the second time, and I'm just gonna do all of the same things, but I'm gonna smoke it.
Sure.
I've
I
looked
mean,
it up a little bit to kind of. I haven't got the recipe from. So Stacy, if you hear this, send it on. Send it to us. Tigs at tigsbits.com.
yeah.
Tigs at
That
tigsbits.com.
that'll be cool. That'll be cool. Yeah, I got a little aggressive. Not I didn't go crazy. I just kept adding little layers of flavors. You know what I mean? Like in that chili. So yeah, we'll talk about the chili. So got
Yeah, let's
into the
talk. I was going
second.
to say, let's talk about
Yeah,
this chili. This is
the second
season 2.
annual windmills chili contest at Props last year. Finished second. Probably the most highly controversial decision since Roy Jones Jr. lost his gold medal in Seoul, Korea in 1992. I would say in all of competition across the board. So
So
that was with the guy.
specific.
That guy, yes, that's the only thing I could think of that could compare. No, I got robbed last year. Just being real, I got totally robbed last year. This guy brought in his whole dojo from his karate instruction, and here's the thing: he had the absolute worst chili in the house. People said they compared it to an ashtray, but because he had all these kids, then the kids voted, and he won, and so I finished second. So it was like, okay, it's cool. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's fine.
See, I
Well,
never got that's the first you finally told of, you told there was controversy, and I don't
yeah,
ever
that was the
remember you
controversy.
completely explaining that part.
And
Okay.
that guy didn't
All
show
right.
up this year, so I'm like, whatever. I'm glad. But so this year they changed it. This year it was a $7 to come be a part of the chili cooking deal, right? I mean, to come taste and be a judge.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
this
you had
year
to.
you got 3 tickets, and you could put your 3 tickets. You could put them in three different people's glasses. You had like a beer glass
Yeah.
in front of you. The votes were right in front of you, or you could put them all in one, two in one in another, whatever you wanted to do, right? So this year I go in, I add another layer of complexity. So I added another layer in there. I got some deer meat. So I went beef, smoked beef. I smoked it all on the grill, smoked sausage, ground beef, and smoked deer meat.
Mm,
And then
okay.
last minute decision, I sliced up very tiny some Kaneka sausage and deep fried it and dropped it in there on top to take it up there. So
Deep fried it in your new deal. Damn it. What was that like? I've never deep fried sausage.
it's so quick, dude. It's perfect. It's like frying sausage
It
in a
doesn't.
pan, but you can do it within like a minute. It's
Yeah, it
done.
doesn't blow up.
Yeah, no, it's perfect. It's like brown. It's like
Oh,
little crispy nuggets everywhere. You know what I mean? So I cut it real
unbelievable.
thin. It was beautiful. Like it's a thing of beauty. Um,
Sounds amazing.
but man, I
Wow.
added a lot of. I kept going with what I normally do and how I do my chili. But I did add a couple of new layers and some extra. Just I would taste in a spoon, and I would take some things and just add just a little bit to go, what would this do from a balance standpoint? And I added a couple of things that I've never added before. I think actually it was delicious. It was really good. Now this year, my old neighbor Stephen Isle was right next to me. He got in it. Now Stephen could cook, right? So I knew Stephen
Yeah.
was going to bring it. But now I'll tell you what else he brought was about 96 of his friends. I've never seen, like, there was a line of his friends. I was like, you invited people, didn't you? It's funny. I'm telling him the story. I'm like, let me tell you what happened last year. And he said, and I got through telling him, this guy brought all his kids in here and they voted. And he went, um, I might have invited a few people. And I was like, well, that's cool. And then and he starts looking at me and like, he has like, I don't even know these people either. It's like, I didn't know you had this many friends. First of all, like,
So
they
you
were
can, I
all
mean,
here.
technically in this deal, you can buy the damn trophy. You can buy the trophy if you can buy the people.
Yeah, so we gotta now. Don't get me wrong, his chili, like I didn't lose to a bad chili, but I definitely got out recruited. He's the Nick Saban of chili cook-offs.
I think that the people should get one vote, and there needs to be at least three judges, and there's three or maybe four judges, and the tiebreaker is the
A
people or
popular vote.
whatever. Yeah, the
I agree with
popular
you, and
vote
I think,
counts.
and then maybe make 3 people judges and don't even tell us who they are, and then have a popular vote and let the 3 judges decide, and they're in there mixed in,
And
anonymously.
I think it needs to be blind though. I think the
I
judge
like the
it needs to
blind
be a
thing
blind
too.
it needs to be a blind taste test. They don't there needs to be zero chance for influence.
I
You
agree.
know.
I agree. And next year, that's what we talked about. I was even talking to a couple other people, and that was exactly what they suggested. We need to get 3 judges, either do this blind, set the chili up, have other people serving it. You don't even know whose it is, like a true blind. Because I'll tell you what I have decided, though. I make a pretty good chili. Okay. You know what I mean? I finished
Oh, I
second
believe
twice.
that
I've done
totally.
no recruiting, very limited recruiting. And so my chili stands up. It stands up. It's right there in the mix. You know what I mean? With championship
Yes.
chilies.
I
I,
mean,
I may wear
I
a
totally
tutu
believe
next
it.
year because I finished twice
How
second. I'm thinking I'm getting me a little pink tutu and wear it around me. You know what I mean?
did he you should and maybe a little wand like a little tinker bell.
Yeah.
Uh he just blessed the chilies. Did he put beans in his?
He did not put beans in his.
All right. I mean, I know you put beans. Did you go light with beans or did you not put beans?
I literally like if somebody said they liked beans, I even positioned them over in an area. There might have been 12 beans in there. Like there's just enough. Like there was just enough that if I needed, I could throw a bean in there with it. And I made them. They were like just black beans, so I could identify them really fast too. You know what I mean? Just to scratch the itch of somebody. And people would
I do.
ask me, "What kind of sausage? What kind of meats you like?" I really like beef. Well, you like wild game? Yeah, I got deer in here. Oh, really? Deer sausage? Deer chili. So I was working it as much as I could work it at the table.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't
I
think,
did
and
all I
see,
could do.
just that alone, I don't think that's a fair, that's just one vote of the deal if we're really getting a champion.
Yeah,
Props. We're going to maybe I need to be a part of this. I think I'm too close to the situation, but honestly, I judge it fairly. Blasi probably wouldn't want me to judge his chili, honestly, and I'd be fine with it, though I know his chili is amazing. I'm not a chili expert by any means. I can make a good chili, never done a competition with it. You can get crazy with chilies. That's how all of that to be said, that's how JD Marsh got
yeah.
started in cooking. Is him and some buddies were drinking beer, hanging out, and next thing they decide to go get clipped and go cook a chili at a chili cook-off and sit out all night, got their ass kicked, I think, and then did it again and finally started winning some of them. And I mean, JD's obviously from Texas, and chili cook-offs in Texas are, I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
and it's just like in Louisiana with gumbo. Do you put potato salad in it with it, or does potato salad not belong? Do you put okra in the gumbo? Same thing. The beans and chili debate
Just don't
over
exist in
there is,
Texas. Yeah,
yeah. I mean, people probably have died over it.
I'm sure.
I mean, I'm sure that somebody's been murdered because they put some beans in chili.
So they don't allow you in most Texas to even put you can't put like onions and peppers. You got to use powders out there. Most of those big
Hmm.
competitions, everything has to be a powder based. It's like it's like a NASCAR type deal where they govern everything down and give you the same
You're
car. And it's like,
limited. Yeah.
yes, limited deal. Like I've seen a lot of those big competitions.
Well, it kind of keeps everybody on a level playing field, I guess, by doing it that way.
Yeah,
I
I guess
mean,
so.
yeah. Well, we're gonna have to get props to step it up for next year, so you maybe you have a chance. I just don't like that you can buy it. Like, I mean,
I know,
somebody
and see, I
that's
thought this
two
year would
years
be
in a row.
different. I know.
That it shouldn't be won that way, but it works out great for props. So I
Dude,
mean that's why
great crowd.
you can still do that and still make the money on that, but then it's just like that's just part of the vote, not all of the vote.
No, but to Steven's credit, though, it was really cool. I should have invited more people too, but I was kind of a last minute entry. I put my name down. I didn't think I was going to be able to do it. I had a busy weekend. I was like, I can't commit to doing all this. And of course, that itch started hitting me. And by Friday, I'm getting deer meat. I'm, running to the store. And then Saturday, I had all this running around to do, but I'm cooking Friday night. I would have started cooking Thursday if I really thought I was going to do it. I'll do a 2-day set and sit it in the refrigerator, let it sit. It's only done like an 18 hours, soak or whatever in the fridge. But it was fun, dude. Hey, we got to drink free beer this year, all the contestants. Then we all got like $30-something bar tab on top of that as a gift card to take
Oh,
home. And then when you win, you also got a gift card as well for winning. Like 100. I got 50, I think, and 25. Like it's
well, boom.
unbelievable deal.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Of course, I
I
had
mean,
at
and it's
least $100
fun.
in that chili. So
It was worth it then.
it
It
was.
was well worth your time.
It's a
I
blast.
love
I've
it.
got some good video. I'm gonna put some stuff together. I was working on it, flying out here on my Splice on my phone.
Well, that's
I got
exactly
some
what I was
raw
about to
data
ask you.
footage, a
You
couple of cool interview conversations. One, I
oh
forgot to
good.
take my mic up, which was the best one I gave. I took their mic.
Oh, is that
I
the
didn't
one
take
that you
my mic.
sent? Did you say you sent us something? Sent us one,
Yeah, me
and
and Steven.
it was good. But then I heard somebody else talk. I guess they had the other mic.
He did.
Kind of
That
like
was
we did
Nate
at
had the
the.
other mic. So I've edited that out now. I can make that better. And I've got another interview with Steven. And then there's one where we're talking when they're introducing us as the top three. So I've got a couple. I got a few.
Oh, good. Well, you sent us text that said Saturdays are for content, which was like, hell yeah. I knew you were doing something. Then I was like, oh yeah, he's got some videos from this. So
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah, no, that reminded me of us at the Senior Bowl last year, which it's been a year. That Senior Bowl week has started
It
this
has.
week,
I
and
know it.
we
I hate I'm not there.
the biggest me too, the biggest thing that the biggest takeaway from that, we needed to buy better mics and we needed a better setup than we had. And you live and you learn. Just
That's right.
I can't go this week to it, but we do have our press credentials. If something were to break open, and I could slide over there, I would go. It's pretty cool. They're putting the number 7 sticker on everyone's helmet for Tiger Besh, who was killed in New Orleans on New Year's Eve, and his brother Jack Besh, played at LSU and was a badass at LSU. So
Yeah.
he's been. You can follow them on Twitter and all that, and just sad deal, but
Yeah, I saw
neat
that.
of them.
I saw that. Marty Smith, I think.
Marty
He
Smith
posted
did.
something on that. Yeah. Yeah.
I think he and I
terrible.
think he did. I think he did one of the. I think he did the story. Marty Smith maybe on that was on that they played on game day or something. But dude, the Senior Bowl, how hilarious was that last year when we went into the press box?
Dude.
Like so they gave us our press credentials, y'all, and we're like 2 kids in a damn candy store. We've never had one of these things, and our understanding was that we had free reign of everywhere, and we were there like on a Wednesday, I think.
Yeah, we got there as soon as
when
that bad boy started. Yeah. Or Tuesday or Wednesday. Yeah. Yep.
And so they have the press box, and we're like, let's go to the press box. So we worked our way on in there. They let us through.
To the wrong side of the stadium. Yeah, we were supposed to be on the other side of the stadium and not go to the other side.
So like we were supposed to be on the east side, say, and this press box is on the west side or vice versa. And so we just walked on over there like we knew what we were doing. And I started seeing people that were dressed a little bit better and more in team gear. And like, like what's happening here? And then we go up and they let us in. They let us into the elevator and we go up to whatever floor it was.
Yeah, with all the suites.
Get out. I need to dig this video back up
agents
and post it.
And teams and coaches and Jerry Jones and like everybody, all of them. Everybody that actually is there to get players and us.
The NFL, basically the most important, the people who sign the checks in the NFL, that is the people that were in there. And dude, you could have heard a pin drop in that sucker when we walked in. Oh my God.
I remember I started making some coffee. That's the first thing I thought. I saw a coffee stand. I was like, I got to look like I belong here. Let me make some coffee. Nobody will ever notice me now that I got this cup of coffee in my hand. They won't realize I'm not a coach.
It's like, I got to go to the bathroom. And as I walk down the hall, I'm like, Cowboys, Steelers, Jets. What is going on? Oh my God. This is where the scouts are. We're not supposed to be in here.
This is the wrong place. Yeah, we're in the true dang NFL box. Yeah.
We really were. All the scouts, they were sitting there with their, pen and paper and laptops and watching. And that was not the media. That was the different teams. And we stood there for a minute, though. It was like, I don't think we should. What else? What are we going to do in here? We can't talk. We can't. Let's go. So we left. But we did try to go back the next day, and they didn't let us back in.
They didn't let anybody back in. They even made a big announcement.
No, they didn't. They closed that. Yeah, I think we were the reason.
Nobody allowed over there. Like, y'all have to stay on the other side. This year, all the media is on one side.
Yeah. I bet you they were a little clearer with that this year, thanks to us.
I bet they were.
Made our presence felt. But
we didn't do anything to make a fool of ourselves. We just went over there and, they just let us in and we thought this was a press box. Like, thought this is where you go.
Well, I didn't know why we would need to go over there, what we would do, but I wanted to do it if we had
access,
carte blanche of the whole place, I've never been. Well, that's not true. I have been in press boxes, but I hadn't been in that press box.
No.
So
we were supposed to go to the one in the end zone is the press box we can use. That's the ones for the press. And You know, we weren't supposed to be on that side of the stadium up there in the suite, in the press
No,
box.
we
Like,
were
no.
not supposed to be that close to NFL owners. And Jerry Jones was definitely there because we definitely saw him one night out when we were out in a bar. What hotel was that we went in? It was like
Oh,
awful. We probably don't need to say
that's the Battle House,
the Battle
and
House.
that's that little cool little little bar. They've got like it's called Joe Kane's is a restaurant they have in there, which is a little bigger, a little louder. Then they got this little quaint piano bar that's super small. Like the bar holds like 6 or 7 people, and there's like 3 or 4 or 5 tables. The whole, it's the whole place holds like 25 people,
Yeah,
and there's a piano player. And that's the bar where we saw Jerry Jones in the Battle House.
sure
That little
did.
piano bar
And
in there. Yeah.
Steven and his whole
Yes.
entourage.
The whole crew.
Blasi
Um,
and they had Blasi and Jerry had some eye contact. I did not, but I did walk by him to verify it was him, and it definitely was him. I was like, but
it
didn't want to
definitely
bother
was.
him. It just stove up. But you just don't bother people when they're sitting there like the dudes are coming in to have them a drink. They're talking about the day. Like it's pretty damn. It looked like there was some journalist or somebody there that was hanging out with them. You know, they're talking shop. They're doing what they do. It just would. I find it would be inappropriate to bother them at that
Completely.
point. They
They're in
probably
the
would have been an
corner.
asshole to us anyhow, and I'd understand.
In a bigger, louder environment, that's a place maybe you could get by walking by and say hello. But he was in that's just a protected little spot. You know what I mean?
There were 6 of them, maybe, and
Yep.
then me and you, and maybe 2 more people at the other
Yes.
end of the bar, and that was it.
That was it.
It was mainly them that were in the
Yeah.
bar, which is why they were there.
That's
there
exactly
was
why they were
nobody.
there.
That's
Yeah.
exactly why they were there. Cool little bar though. We should have stayed longer.
We
but,
should have. Did
eh,
you see?
we had other fish to fry?
Yeah, we did have other fish to fry. Did you see the cameo with Jerry Jones and Landman? I don't know if we talked about this
Yeah.
yet. Dude,
We haven't.
how
I
good was
talked
that?
about it on Tigs Tonight one night. I played it and also got hit with I had to take it out of that show because I got hit with a with a copyright strike showing the clip. But whatever, unbelievable. And apparently they that was just ad lib. That wasn't really rehearsed. I
He just
felt
got it
that Jerry Jones was saying like, I think that's really how he feels, or he sure
exactly
damn.
how he feels. I think so too.
I think it's exactly how he
He drew
feels.
from personal experiences and how he feels in life. Because you can also see, and I remember as I was watching it as it was happening, because I was like, damn, his like you could tell he's getting emotional. I'm like, this is just great
Yeah.
acting, but it's also digging deep and using personal experiences in life to come out in that moment. I mean, he took over the room. I mean, he had
did,
both of them
man. It
boys
was
shut down,
impressive.
and he was just Jerry Jones and them, and like it was like powerful. Then you see that they go back and his eyes had gotten super, super red, and then his eyes are back white again. You could tell they had to stop that shit for a minute too. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I
Yeah.
guarantee you they did. It was just fantastic. Who knew that Jerry Jones could act? And he's there's no doubt. I think he's a better actor than owner at this point.
It's true.
And
Maybe
I
he
think
starts
there's some
acting like
Cowboy
an
fans
owner.
out there that would agree.
Well, he needs to start acting like an owner. Maybe he would be better off. You know what I mean? And let somebody else
Yeah,
be the GM.
exactly. That ain't as long as he's got the money in that game. That ain't ever gonna change.
I know.
That's
I
a
mean, you know what?
fact.
Whatever. It's his money. It's his team.
That's
Whatever.
right. That's right. Well, you're in Dallas tonight. You had texted me that you were going somewhere. I'm going to let you get out of here. Where are you going? What's going on tonight?
Man, there's a steakhouse right here nearby. It's called Dino's, and it's supposed to be this old school steakhouse here that's been around for a while and supposed to just have some absolute money steaks,
Oh,
So
man.
we're going to
And you're in Texas. Yes.
big old steaks.
Send me some pictures, please. I'm going to want to see what you get. Are you going to go with a ribeye, a filet, a
Yes.
New York strip, T-bone? What are you? Yes on all? Where
Ribeye,
you lean?
yes, all of them, the whole platter, just a platter.
I'll take one.
And I'm
of
definitely
each.
going ribeye, some sort of probably bone-in action ribeye, something like
Oh.
that. Yeah, maybe a bit. Yeah,
I'm
something stupid.
jealous. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, good luck. Have fun. And yeah, report back. Look forward to hearing more about that. God, I love a good steak, and you are in the
dude, I can't
capital
wait.
of it
I can't
for
wait.
sure. All right. Well, boys, let's get out of here. There's nobody. It's just me and you.
I was looking around. I
Just
thought you had a rat in
have
your
it.
pocket or something.
JR's busy, everybody. We didn't. Here we are at the end of the show. If you've hung with us for this 55 minutes, by the way, JR won't be joining us today. He's working.
What if JR was right here? What's up, boys? Yeah, even there the whole time.
Yeah, the whole time. It just like Bubba in the in-ears. Just like when you
right.
get that, just we'll call it back and bring it all the way back to the beginning. That's exactly right. Well, we'll see you guys next week.